Join me at a Mandarin Oriental today for a dining experience at Dinner by Heston. Before we dive into the Michelin-starred magic, stop by for a pre-dem drink at the Albury. Now, onto Dinner by Heston. It offers a striking glimpse into the rich history of British cuisine. The restaurant's design, created by Adam Tiani, matches contemporary elegance with medieval inspiration. You'll find subtle touches like boar door knockers and antique jelly mold sconces, all set against water-ceiling windows that give the diners a direct view into the kitchen. The kitchen is a show unto itself. With a unique foodie system rotating spits over an open fire, the menu is a true homage to British gastronomy, with dishes inspired by recipes dating back as far as the 14th century. While Heston Blumenthal brings the signature techniques of pickling, smoking, and liquid nitrogen to the table, dinner is all about serving up simple, beautifully executed British classics. Perhaps the most playful and avant-garde dish here is the meat fruits. Velvety chicken liver pate disguised as a mandarin, highlighting the creative genius that Blumenthal is known for. Since its opening in January 2011, dinner received its first Michelin star just 9 months later. By 2014, it was awarded its second star, although their website does make claims of 2030. The current head chef, Adam Desmond, has been with dinner since 2017, working his way up the ranks from demi-chef to partie. Originally from Cambridge, Adam trained at Westminster's Kingsway College before refining his skills at Mark Poinson's Michelin-starred Alimentum. He then joined Dinner, where his creativity and dedication to excellence has been key to continuing the restaurant's success. Today, Dinner by Heston isn't just a London landmark. It has expanded internationally with a branch at Atlantis in Dubai, though the Australian branch closed in 2020. Now, let's head to dinner and see what the Michelin-starred magic is all about.
Refreshing sparkling rose at Blue Book Estate. Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, 2019 current vintage, they release.
When you make your reservation, you select online whether you're going for the tasting menu or whether you're going to be going a la carte. The base of the tasting menu is 5 courses at £170. There's additional sides, there's additional supplements, and there's additional courses. So you saw when they sat them down that there was place settings on both sides of the table to allow me the option of where I wanted to sit, maybe on which way I wanted to face. So I've got the kitchen over on that side. I've got the beautiful gardens over on this side. So the dining room itself is quite large. I believe it can seat about 110 people. I've got so much space here. Unbelievable. It's really, really spacious restaurant. You can see there's nobody behind me. It's abandoned itself. It's bright to spy, but when it is a beautiful sunny day, high ceilings, it's a dark windows, dark leather, getting that real old medieval Tudor inspired feel to it. These white jelly sconces. Table, fairly basic, slab of wood on a centre stand.
Coronation chicken, curried mayonnaise, Devon white chicken, crispy chicken skin, smoked almonds, ink called ketchup, sliced red grapes.
Curry spices coming through from the chicken, wonderful textures. It's exactly as you'd expect a coronation chicken to taste like, just in a slightly elevated form.
To follow, this is a grano arso style loaf. And this is a Guernsey almond butter.
So gnocchi, bread and butter, got a beautiful crumb structure to it.
2020, the money means really important tone.
You're going to notice a lot of people walking back and front. There's some kind of alfresco dining situation going on outside, but in order to serve the food outside, you're going to see staff going back and forth, bringing food going outside. So
this is the smoked and cured chalk stream rainbow trouts. Underneath the salmon itself, you have something called gentleman's relish. This is a milk-based sauce made with anchovies and a little bit of garlic. On the top, we're dressing this with some mixed leaves.
Between that lemon salad, the leaves, and the relish, there's this beautiful earthiness, acidity, and slight nuttiness. Does the caviar make a difference to the dish? Absolutely. It really adds that saltiness and brininess. It's pretty much like eating sashimi, but it had that smokiness coming through in the background. And so, well, I moved you guys here now because it is so hot in here at the moment. You've got the sun blasting in through the windows that the camera actually overheated. So I'm not sure what's missing. I think there's going to be bits and pieces missing, but now you can see the beautiful garden where you can sit outside and order a different menu, but it's also cooked in the same kitchen as the restaurant Dinner by Heston. Just brought over their version of a cognac. They said it's going to pair with a meat fruit. This is their signature meat fruit. It's a chicken liver parfait. I believe it has some foie gras inside as well, with a mandarin jelly on the exterior, ciabatta bread. You can smell the garlic coming off that. This bread is better than the bread we had on the bread service. Toasted to perfection, amazing crust and toasted crumb. That liver parfait is easily the creamiest, richest, most decadent liver parfait I've ever had. And Jenny provides that perfect sweetness and acidity to cut through the richness and the fattiness. And the ratio of the liver to the jelly, perfect. Okay, so just got them to close the blinds straight away. Big difference, feels a lot cooler. I did ask as well what the percentage of butter is, and I didn't get an answer. If I had to guess, I would say 20 to 30% of that was butter. I loved it, absolutely loved it.
But this cognac has so beautifully as well.
Our next course this evening, the lobster loaf. We're using lobster tail. This is grilled over Japanese yakitori grill. The claw meat we're using on top of the loaf. On the top, you've got some golden trout roe, flavors of samphire. We have some salted fingers, cucumber ketchup, and a smoked lobster oiled.
Star of this dish, easily the lobster tail. The texture on that is absolutely perfect. It's been perfectly cooked. They did say it's cooked over Japanese barbecue, I think it was. I'll be honest, I'm not really getting any smokiness coming off that. If you wouldn't have told me, I would have thought it's just been poached. Cucumber ketchup, absolutely delightful. Pretty much like having a pickled cucumber salad in liquid form. You get the freshness of the cucumber, but there's also that tanginess and slight zestiness. The lobster salad sitting on top of the brioche, honestly, is better on its own. The brioche is sauvé piece of gluten. That lobster tail and the cucumber ketchup. Excellent, excellent. Now that the sun is setting, this is my view, and it is incredible. So this is snail porridge in a fennel salad. The porridge is got parsley, garlic, so fragrant on the nose. This is the fennel, and then this is the porridge. And you got bits of snails there and there. It's weird to say this about snail, but they are soft and succulent. No chew to them whatsoever. That porridge, though, is so flavorful, so herby. Now that the sun's set, they've gone to reopen the curtain.
I put it in just stove and red them.
I wish you could smell this. The nose on this is unbelievable. This knife that they bought, it's got such a lovely weight to it.
Our loaves of beef. So this is a red wine sauce. We cut it with a little bit of herb oil and as well as the bone marrow. To the side, you've also got the beef sweetbreads, and there's a little bit of ox tongue.
That red wine sauce with the beef fats and the bone marrow. In the aroma is absolutely incredible. I'm so excited for this because I've got such an amazing red to go with that as well. Got the iconic triple cooked chips with the mushroom ketchup and the smoked mayonnaise. I feel like we need to try chip first. Very easily the best chips I've ever had. Think about the crust on the sourdough. It's that kind of crunchiness and intensity and thickness to it. And inside you can see it's the softest, fluffiest potato. Very unique, very interesting, and I really like them. The smoked mayo is also excellent, but that mushroom ketchup, it just leaks above it. A bite of absolutely everything. Oh, can't forget some black truffle on there as well. In all honesty, the truffle does not elevate the dish in any way whatsoever. It's barely noticeable. There's such intense flavours going on there. Also, despite the sun setting, the blinds being open, it's so warm in here. You probably thought, well, we're done with the mains, onto desserts. Wrong. I couldn't resist. My pre-dessert, the intrusive thoughts, I want to pick this up and take a bite out of it. Let's take this out, because that is a choking hazard. Unbelievable bite. You've got to come here and just get that. I'm not going to eat all the breads because I'm fairly full, but that parfait is so amazing. Well, technically, a amount of butter in here, I can call it a dessert. I want to be eating maximum liver, minimal bread. Bite number 2. Final bite number 3. Absolute perfection.
Tipsy cake. We're using brioche on top and golden caster sugar, but underneath is where the sauce is. Cream, pasta and sugar, vanilla, as well as sauternes sweet wine, pineapple here. This is roasted on the spit.
It's not the prettiest dessert. First, this top eye. I forgot what vintage, but 6 Petonius. Wow. It's hard to believe I'm eating a piece of actual fresh pineapple. Unreal, the intense pineapple flavor coming from there, and then the sweetness and that crunchy shell from that caramelized sugars on the outside. Oh god, this is magical. Piece of pineapple and a piece of the brioche. Thickly packed, syrupy, sugary brioche you'll ever taste. Also the caramelization of the sugars on top, breaking that crust. Wonderful. The sweetness got to me. I was unable to finish this dish.
So this is our nitrogen ice cream jolly. All good ice cream starts with the custards. It's a lemon flavour. We use lemon zest and pickled lemon in here as well. So all of this is going to go into our empty mixing bowl. Now this is our liquid nitrogen that we have here at minus 196. And what you can see is the nitrogen evaporating almost straight away. So almost instantly you have the ice cream. This is our phyllo pastry cone. So we have some strawberry compote that we're going to add into the bottom of our cone. And then we have 3 different toppings here as well for your ice cream. The first one, meringue and freeze-dried raspberry. In the center, we have a nice crunchy crumble, which is made as popping candy and yogurt as well. And the last one is caramelized white chocolate and cocoa. Chocolate coke.
That looks beautiful. Thank you so much.
The food is very fragile, so take it.
The strawberries that came to the end. Wonderful.
To go with your coffee, I also have a last little sweet bite. This is an Earl Grey chocolate ganache almond pastry shell topped with chocolate crumble with real dots.
It's coffee time. And for the final bite today is this little tartlet. The total for today, including all supplements and a charity donation, came to just over £600. We have just finished up at Dinner by Heston. Upon arrival, I was shown to my table and it'd been set out for 2. It was a nice thought. They gave me that option of where I wanted to sit and which direction I wanted to face. The dining room is quite a large space. I believe it holds up to 110 guests. It is a restaurant inside of hotels, which then brings me on to there were kids in the restaurant. And yes, they were well behaved. Their high-pitched whines on occasion did carry through the dining room, but then again, it didn't necessarily detract from the overall experience. It was just an observation. I appreciate where I was at. We had the gardens on one side, the kitchen on the other. However, during the summer months, the garden is used for alfresco dining. That meant there was a constant stream of guests and staff going back and forth. You'd almost think a restaurant of this caliber wouldn't allow persons not dining at the restaurant to just traipse through there. The space is beginning to show quite a few signs of wear and tear. Next to my seat where my foot was resting, there was some kind of grate which wasn't sat in properly and it did kind of wobble. Whilst I did have a wonderful seating position, the heat was quite a disturbing factor of today's dinner. And while I understand for 95% of the year this isn't a problem that the restaurant probably deals with, the sky is grey, it's rainy, it's cold, it's wet. We don't get much sun here. But on the days that we do, you've got to be able to deal with it. I was looking around the room. There was guests in front of me that were fanning themselves with a menu. Other guests had also removed jackets and rolled up their shirt sleeves. With all that out of the way, let's move on to the food. The base price of the tasting menu, 5 courses at £170. There's a £20 supplement for caviar with a salmon. There's a £20 supplement for truffle with a beef. Then there was a £16 supplement for the snail porridge course. And then there was a £10 supplement for the triple cooked chips with the main dish. In total, that's £66 of extras on a £170 menu. That's an uplift of 38%. I'm personally not a fan of these supplements and things like that. If the chef believes there should be caviar on the dish, then the caviar should be on the dish and that cost should just be absorbed in the menu. Up the cost of the menu. But essentially, they're charging a premium for all the luxury ingredients. Normally, for this kind of pricing, you're getting things like scallops, langoustines, truffle, caviar. Pretty much every single tasting menu I've ever been to, you get your amuse-bouche, your petit fours. Here, you get 1 bite for an amuse-bouche, you get a single bite for a petit four. Now, let's talk about the food itself. There wasn't any particular dishes that I didn't enjoy the entire dish. There were within dishes various elements that I didn't necessarily enjoy. However, the meat fruit is a must try. I did ask a couple of times how much butter was in there. I didn't get an answer. Butter is buttery, rich, decadent. Come here, get the meat fruit. And then, yeah, to be honest, there was nothing really memorable about the menu. The dessert, fantastic. Portion too big in my opinion. The pineapple is magical. The acidity, the intensity of the flavour of that pineapple with that gorgeous caramelised crust on top of that. The ice cream was a really lovely touch, not something that was on the menu. Wonderful, wonderful course, and who doesn't love a bit of tableside theatre? I did order an extra meat fruit, which, thank you very much. It was complimented by the restaurant, which brings me on to the staff. The most memorable part of this evening was all the staff from beginning to end. They are all well presented, highly knowledgeable, incredible presentation skills, highly attentive and very unobtrusive. But like the tiniest things, I sneeze, somebody's marching down the room with a box of tissues. The attentiveness is absolutely incredible, and how unnoticeable it is, even more amazing. They really had that perfect balance. My only complaint about the staff, At the beginning, they present you with 3 different options how you want the menu to be presented. It was either with no introduction to the dishes, a minimal introduction. I went with the full in-depth, and it was incredible. I learned so many new things today. And that was except for the sommelier. When the wines were presented, no information on the wine, no tasting notes, nothing about the region, the vintage, the appellation. They were all fairly premium wines. I was expecting to hear a little bit about it. But then afterwards, after the kitchen tour, when I went to the wine cellar, I must have had a 20-minute chat, and he was so talkative, so informative, and so knowledgeable. I just wish that would have translated during the dining experience. But overall, tonight was all about the staff. As usual, on to the next one. Goodbye.